In a world where every toy was perfect, every child found the robot they wanted. But in the darkest corner of the store, there was one robot nobody chose. They called him defective, broken, useless. Day after day, he waited. Until one day, everything changed.
Look, feeling happy.
In a world where every toy was perfect, every child found the robot they wanted.
It's the best. You both look so happy.
Best day ever, right?
Yes, the best. You're my favorite toy. Wow, look at all these robots. They're glowing. Let's pick one.
Every shelf was filled with excitement,
Look, they glow. Let's say hi.
laughter, and happiness.
Happy to see you. You're amazing. Let's be friends. Best day ever. Wow, you robots are so cool. Your light is so bright.
We are happy to meet you.
This is the best day ever. Wow, so shiny and futuristic. Let's pick our favorites. This one is perfect. Mine too. Let's go.
But in the darkest corner of the store, there was one robot nobody chose. They called him defective, broken, useless. Day after day, he waited. Watching every other toy find a home.
See anything you like, Pumpkin?
Until one day, everything changed. A quiet little boy walked into the store. He wasn't loud like the others. He didn't run toward the newest toys. He simply looked around, as if he already expected to leave empty-handed. Then, he saw the robot. The broken little machine slowly lifted its head. Its blue eye flickered weakly. For a moment, they simply stared at each other. The boy stepped closer. "How much is this one?" The shopkeeper laughed softly. "That old thing. It barely works. You don't want that." But the boy continued looking at the robot. "I'll take him." For the first time in a very long time, the robot felt something strange. Hope. The rain fell softly outside as the boy carried the robot home. The house was small, old, quiet, but warm. The boy carefully placed the robot on a table beside his bed. For several seconds, nothing happened. Then suddenly, The robot's eye flickered on. Hell, its voice cracked with static. The boy smiled. Hi. The robot tried to stand. It almost immediately fell forward. The boy laughed softly, but not in a cruel way. For the first time, someone was laughing with him, not at him. The next few days were filled with small moments. The robot tried carrying books. It dropped them. It tried cleaning the room. It somehow made an even bigger mess. It tried walking faster and crashed directly into the wall. Every time it failed, the boy simply smiled. It's okay. You can try again. And so, the robot kept trying. Again and again and again. Slowly, the quiet house began to feel different. Warmer, less lonely. The robot would sit beside the boy while he drew pictures. Sometimes it tilted its head in confusion. Sometimes it simply watched silently. At night, they would stare out the window together. While rain tapped softly against the glass. Neither of them said much. But somehow, they understood each other perfectly. For the first time, the robot no longer felt broken. And for the first time in a long time, neither did the boy. But not everyone understood.
What is that?
One afternoon, the boy brought the robot outside. Several older children noticed immediately. What is that? That thing looks terrible. It's junk. The boy lowered his eyes. The robot looked between them silently, trying to understand. But suddenly, please wake up. But the robot did not move. Its body twitched violently. Its eye flickered. Sparks burst from its arm. Then everything stopped. The robot collapsed onto the ground. The world went silent. See? Told you it was broken. The children walked away laughing. The boy slowly knelt beside the robot. Hey. That night, the boy sat quietly beside the motionless machine. Even his parents looked worried. This thing is falling apart, his father said gently. Maybe it's time to throw it away. No. The answer came instantly. The boy held the robot tightly. No, please. His father sighed softly, but said nothing more. Hours passed, rain poured outside. The room grew darker and darker. The boy eventually fell asleep beside the robot. Then, sometime after midnight, the robot's eye flickered faintly. A weak electrical sound echoed through the room. Friend, its system struggled to restart. Friend. Then suddenly, an emergency signal appeared across its vision. The boy was gone. The robot looked toward the open front door. Rain blew softly into the house. Without hesitation, the robot stood. Its legs shook violently. Warning messages flashed across its system. Damage critical. Motor failure detected. low power, but the robot kept moving, step by step by step, through the storm. The city streets were dark and cold. Rain hammered against its damaged body. Several times it fell. Several times it struggled back up, because somewhere out there, its friend was alone. The boy wandered through the rain, trembling with fear. He had chased after something into the night and gotten lost. "Hello?" His voice shook. "Dad?" But nobody answered. You came back." The robot stopped in front of him, its systems barely functioning, its body covered in rain and sparks. But it had found him. Slowly, the robot reached out its hand. The boy grabbed it immediately, and in that moment, something changed. The robot was no longer just a broken machine. It was a friend, a protector, someone who cared. Together, they slowly walked home through the storm. The next morning, sunlight filled the room for the first time in days. The robot sat quietly beside the window, damaged, scratched, still imperfect, but different somehow. Outside, the world continued moving as always. Children laughed, stores opened, people hurried through busy streets. But inside that small, quiet house, something extraordinary had happened. The robot nobody wanted had finally found where it belonged. And the boy who once felt alone was alone no longer. Funny, isn't it? Sometimes, the things the world calls broken are only waiting for someone willing to believe in them.
Deep inside the forest,
Please, somebody help me.
but someone heard him. But Toby was afraid of the deep forest. He was small. He was scared. But someone needed him. So, Toby took one tiny step forward. The brave little turtle. Deep inside a beautiful green forest, beside a sparkling little pond, lived a very small turtle named Toby. Toby was a gentle little turtle with a bright green body, a beautiful golden patterned shell, and the kindest eyes in the whole forest. Every morning, Toby loved to sit beside the pond and watch the sun rise. He loved listening to the birds sing. He loved watching butterflies dance above the flowers. And most of all, he loved spending time with his two best friends, Momo, the playful little frog, and Pip, the cheerful little bird. "Good morning, Toby," called Momo. "Good morning," Toby laughed. Pip swooped down from a tree and landed softly on Toby's shell. "And good morning from me," Toby giggled. The three friends spent their mornings exploring the little world around Toby's pond. They chased butterflies, they counted shiny stones, they watched tiny fish swimming beneath the water. And sometimes, Momo made such enormous splashes that Toby couldn't stop laughing. But there was one place Toby never explored: the deep forest. One morning, Momo pointed toward the tall trees beyond the pond. "Have you ever been over there?" he asked. Toby looked toward the forest. The trees were tall, the path was dark, and the sunlight seemed to disappear beneath the branches. "No," Toby said quietly. "Why not?" asked Pip. Toby lowered his head. "Because it looks scary," Pip smiled. "Maybe it's not scary. Maybe it just looks scary from here." Toby looked at the forest again. Maybe Pip was right, but Toby wasn't ready. So the three friends returned to their games. They played beside the pond. They laughed, they explored, and everything was peaceful. Until, suddenly, crack! A branch fell somewhere deep inside the forest.
Whoa! What was that?
Everyone stopped. Toby looked up. Momo stopped jumping. Pip stopped flying. Then they heard something. A tiny voice.
Somebody help me!
The friends looked at one another. "Did you hear that?" Toby whispered. Again, they heard the little voice.
Please, somebody help me!
Toby looked toward the forest. His heart began beating faster. Someone was in trouble. But the forest is so dark. Toby knew he was right. He was scared too. Very scared. Toby slowly looked at the forest. Then he looked at his friends. Then he heard the little voice again.
Please!
Toby took a deep breath. Someone needs help. He took one tiny step forward. I'll go! Pip flew beside him. I'll come with you. Momo nodded. And me too. And so the three friends entered the forest. Toby's little feet moved slowly across the path. Every sound seemed louder than it had beside the pond. The trees swayed above him. The leaves rustled around him. And Toby's little heart beat faster with every step. Suddenly, whoosh! A small bird flew out of a bush. Toby jumped. Oh! He quickly pulled his head inside his shell. Pip laughed gently. It was only a bird. Toby slowly peeked out. He looked at the bird. Then he laughed. I knew that. Momo smiled. Of course you did. They continued deeper into the forest. And then something wonderful happened. Tiny glowing fireflies began floating between the trees. Toby stared in amazement. Wow! The friends continued walking until they heard something else. Whoosh! Splash! Water. They reached a little stream. The water rushed over smooth rocks. A fallen log stretched from one side to the other. He looked at the rushing water below. That looks very high. Pip flew across easily. Come on, Toby. Toby took a deep breath. He carefully climbed onto the log. One tiny step, then another. The log wobbled. Toby froze. His eyes became wide. I can't. Pip flew back beside him. You don't have to hurry. Momo smiled. Just take one tiny step. Toby looked at his feet. Then he looked across the stream. One tiny step, he whispered. He moved forward. Another step, and another. Slowly, carefully, Toby reached the other side. Pip cheered. You did it. Momo jumped happily. You really did. Toby looked back at the stream. A proud little smile appeared on his face. I really did. Then they heard the cry again.
Help me!
The friends hurried deeper into the forest. And finally, they found the one who had been calling. A tiny baby hedgehog was trapped between two fallen branches. Oh, no! Toby cried. Don't worry, he said gently. We'll help you. Toby pushed against the branch. Nothing happened. He pushed harder. Still nothing. Toby pushed with all his strength. But the branch wouldn't move. Finally, Toby sat down. He was tired. He looked at the branch. Then he looked at his tiny feet. I'm too small, he whispered. The little hedgehog looked worried. Maybe Toby really couldn't help. But then Toby noticed something on the forest floor. A long, sturdy stick. Toby's eyes became bright. Wait! He picked up the stick. We don't have to be strong if we're clever. Toby placed the stick underneath the branch. He pushed down. Nothing happened. He pushed harder. His tiny legs began to shake. Come on, Toby! Pip called out. You can do it! Momo pushed beside him. Push! Toby took one big breath, then he pushed with everything he had. Push! The branch lifted, just a little, but it was enough. The little hedgehog squeezed underneath. And suddenly, he was free! Everyone cheered. You did it! Cried the hedgehog. Toby smiled. You're safe. The little hedgehog gave Toby a grateful hug. Thank you. Toby hugged him back. You're welcome. But before they could celebrate for long, boom! Thunder rumbled through the forest. Everyone looked up. Dark clouds were moving across the sky. A few raindrops began falling. Drip, drip, drip. Then the wind grew stronger. The trees began to sway. The little hedgehog trembled. I'm scared. Toby looked toward the path. The forest suddenly looked very different. The same trees that had seemed beautiful only moments before now looked huge. The path was wet. The sky was dark. And Toby was frightened again. I don't know if I can do this, he whispered. Pip flew close to him. You already did something brave. The rain became heavier, but Toby began walking, one step, then another. He was still scared, but he kept going. Soon they reached the stream again. The water was moving faster now. The fallen log was wet and slippery. Momo looked worried. Maybe we should wait. Toby looked at the dark clouds. Then he looked at the hedgehog. We need to get home. Toby stepped onto the log. Slowly, carefully. The hedgehog followed behind him. Pip flew above them. Momo stayed close. Halfway across. Whoosh! A strong gust of wind shook the branches. One tiny step. He moved forward, another step, then another. Finally, Toby reached the other side.
We can do this.
The hedgehog climbed down safely. We made it, he cried. Toby smiled. Yes, we made it.
We made it. That was fun.
They hurried along the forest path. And then Toby saw something familiar. Through the trees was his pond, home. Pip flew ahead. We're back! Momo jumped with joy. Home! The rain began to slow. Golden sunlight broke through the clouds, and waiting beside the pond were several forest animals. When they saw the little hedgehog, Everyone cheered. The hedgehog's mother rushed forward and hugged him. "My little one," the hedgehog smiled. "Toby helped me." Everyone looked at Toby. Toby became shy. "I just helped a little," Momo laughed. "A little? You crossed the whole forest," said Pip. "You crossed the stream," added Momo, "and you rescued someone who needed you." Toby looked down. "But I was scared." For a moment, everyone was quiet. Then an old, friendly owl smiled from a nearby branch. "That is what makes it brave." Toby looked up. The owl continued, "Bravery isn't about never being afraid." Toby listened carefully. Bravery is choosing to keep going when fear tells you to stop. Toby thought about the forest, the stream, the storm, and the little hedgehog. He finally understood. Being brave didn't mean that he wasn't scared. It meant that he didn't let his fear decide what he should do. That evening, Toby sat beside the pond and watched the sun disappear behind the trees. The sky turned pink, then orange, then golden. Pip sat beside him. Momo played nearby, and the little hedgehog smiled happily with his family. Toby looked toward the forest. It didn't seem quite so frightening anymore. The next morning, Toby woke up early. He walked to the edge of the pond. He looked at the forest. Then he smiled. Pip landed beside him. "Thinking about another adventure?" Toby laughed. "Maybe." Momo suddenly jumped into the pond. "Splash! Adventure first!" he shouted. Toby and Pip laughed. Then Toby took a small step toward the forest. Not because he was never afraid. Not because he was the biggest. Not because he was the strongest. But because now he knew something important. Sometimes being brave simply means taking one tiny step forward. One tiny step when you're nervous. One tiny step when you're unsure. One tiny step when you don't know what will happen next. And sometimes, one tiny step is all it takes to discover how brave you really are. So remember, little one, you don't have to be the biggest. You don't have to be the strongest. And you don't have to stop being afraid. You only need a kind heart and the courage to take that first small step. Because even the smallest heart can hold the biggest courage.
Have you ever been so scared that you believed you could never do something? Meet Sparky, the little dragon who was afraid to fly. Everyone thought today would be the day. Sparky would finally learn to fly. But something went terribly wrong. Would he find the courage before it was too late? Let's go back to where the story began. Long ago, beyond the tallest mountains, past sparkling rivers, and deep inside a magical valley, there lived dragons unlike any you had ever seen. Every morning, they stretched their mighty wings, leaped into the sky, and danced among the clouds. Every young dragon dreamed of flying. Every dragon except one. His name was Sparky. And today, his greatest fear would become his greatest adventure. Sparky wasn't the biggest dragon. He wasn't the strongest either. In fact, he was the smallest dragon in the entire valley. His bright orange scales shimmered in the sunlight. His little golden wings sparkled like tiny stars, and wrapped around his neck was his favorite blue scarf. Everyone knew Sparky for one special reason. He had the kindest heart. Whenever a rabbit got lost, Sparky helped. Whenever a butterfly hurt its wing, Sparky helped. Whenever Grandma Dragon carried heavy baskets, Sparky rushed over with a smile. Helping others made Sparky happy. But hidden deep inside his heart was a secret, one he had never shared with anyone. Every evening, Sparky climbed onto his favorite rock. From there, he watched the older dragons soar across the golden sky. They flipped through fluffy clouds. They raced with the wind. They laughed together. Sparky smiled. But inside, his heart whispered, "I wish I could fly too." He stretched his tiny wings, flap, 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 but they never lifted him from the ground. He sighed softly. What if I fall? What if everyone laughs? What if I'm not a real dragon? The next morning, Dragon Flying School was buzzing with excitement. Young dragons lined up beside the great flying cliff. Teacher Ignis smiled proudly. Today, every dragon will earn their first flying badge. One after another, the dragons jumped. Their wings caught the wind. They soared beautifully through the bright blue sky. Then, Teacher Ignis looked toward Sparky. "Sparky, it's your turn." Sparky slowly walked toward the edge. His knees trembled. His wings shook. His little tail flickered nervously. He looked down. The ground seemed impossibly far away. His heart beat faster and faster. I can't. He quietly stepped back. A few young dragons giggled. Maybe chickens fly better. Another laughed. Perhaps Sparky forgot he's a dragon. Sparky lowered his head. Without saying a single word, he walked away, with tears in his eyes. Sparky wandered into Whispering Forest. The tall trees swayed gently in the breeze. Golden leaves danced around him. He sat beneath the oldest tree in the valley. A tiny tear rolled down his cheek. Just then, a calm voice spoke from above. "Why are you crying, little dragon?" Sparky looked up. Perched on a thick branch, sat a beautiful snowy owl. His feathers glowed silver beneath the sunlight. "My name is Oliver. I've watched every dragon grow, but I've never met one with a kinder heart than yours. I'm afraid I'll never fly." Oliver smiled kindly. Courage doesn't mean you never feel fear. Courage means taking one small step, even while your heart is shaking. Sparky looked confused. "But what if I fall?" Oliver smiled. "What if you fly?" Sparky looked toward the sky. For the first time, he wondered if anything was possible. The next morning, Dragon Valley was brighter than ever. Golden sunlight poured over the mountains. Birds sang cheerful songs. Butterflies danced among colorful flowers. Everything felt peaceful. Suddenly, crack! A large tree branch snapped high above the river. A tiny baby bird slipped from its nest. It tumbled through the air, flapping its little wings. The frightened mother bird cried, "Help! Somebody, please help my baby." The baby bird landed on a narrow rock above the rushing river. The current below was fast and dangerous. Every dragon looked up, but they were too far away. The little bird began to slip, closer and closer. Everyone froze, except Sparky. Sparky's heart began to race. His tiny wings trembled. His legs felt weak. He wanted to run away. Then, he remembered Oliver's words. Courage means taking one small step, even when you're afraid. Sparky closed his eyes. He took one deep breath. I may be scared, but I can't let that little bird fall. Slowly, he walked toward the edge of the cliff. Every dragon watched in complete silence. Sparky looked down. It was the highest cliff he had ever seen. He whispered, "Please, let me be brave." Sparky ran, faster and faster. His little feet pounded across the rocky ground. Then, he jumped. For one long moment, he began to fall. The wind rushed past his face. His blue scarf fluttered behind him. Suddenly, his tiny wings opened. Flap, flap, flap. The wind lifted him higher. Higher and higher. Sparky wasn't falling anymore. He was flying. His first flight had begun. Sparky flew toward the frightened baby bird. The little bird was shaking with fear. "Don't worry," Sparky said softly. "I've got you." He carefully lifted the tiny bird onto his back. Together, they soared above the sparkling river. The mother bird smiled with tears of joy. Sparky gently placed the baby bird back into its nest. The entire valley burst into cheers. Even the dragons who had laughed before could hardly believe what they had seen. The young dragons slowly walked toward Sparky. One by one, they lowered their heads. "We're sorry. We laughed at you. You were the bravest dragon of all." Sparky smiled kindly. "I was afraid too." The dragons looked surprised. "Really?" Sparky nodded. "Being brave doesn't mean you're never scared. Being brave means doing the right thing, even when you're afraid." High above the trees, Oliver the wise owl smiled proudly. He knew Sparky had learned the most important lesson of all. That evening, as the sun slowly disappeared behind the mountains, Sparky soared high above Dragon Valley. Not because he was the strongest dragon, not because he was the fastest, but because he found the courage to believe in himself. And from that day forward, whenever a young dragon felt afraid, they remembered Sparky's first flight. Remember this, little friends. Everyone feels afraid sometimes. But true courage is taking one brave step, even when your heart is shaking. Because every great adventure begins with believing in yourself.
What if the smallest creatures on Earth had the greatest power? In a tiny forest, a group of ants was about to prove everyone wrong. In a quiet green forest, under a big old tree, lived thousands of tiny ants. They worked day and night and helping each other, carrying food, building their home. High above them, a proud grasshopper watched and laughed.
Ha! You ants are so small. What power could you possibly have?
The ants said nothing. They simply continued their work. Among the ants was a little ant named Airy. She was smaller than the others, but inside her was a very big dream. I want to do something important. Airy said softly. Every small step matters. The older ants smiled warmly. Airy wondered, how can someone so tiny make a difference? One day, everything began to change. The wind grew stronger. The sky turned dark. Far away, thunder rumbled. A big storm was coming. But the ants worked faster than ever. They carried food, protected their home, and helped each other. Ari worked as hard as she could. Even though she was small, she did not give up. Then, the storm arrived. Rain poured heavily. The ground began to flood, and water rushed through the forest. Suddenly, a strong stream of water headed toward the ants' home. Help! 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 Our home is flooding. The grasshopper panicked. I can't escape. I'm trapped. For the first time, he was afraid. Ari looked around. She saw fear. She saw struggle. But then, she had an idea. Ari shouted, "Form a chain." One by one, the ants joined together. They held on to each other tightly. They formed a living bridge. Thousands of tiny ants worked as one. They carried food to safety. They rescued the young. They saved everyone. Please help me. Ari looked at him and said, Join us? And together, they saved him too. Slowly, the storm began to pass. The rain stopped. The clouds moved away. Warm sunlight returned to the forest. Everything became calm again. The ants had survived. Not because they were strong alone, but because they worked together. The grasshopper lowered his head. I was wrong. I thought power meant being big.
I was wrong. I thought power meant being big.
Real power
Real power
is working together.
is working together.
Airy smiled gently. From that day on, the ants rebuilt their home. Stronger than ever before. And the forest never forgot. Because even the smallest creatures can have the greatest power.
Tommy found a wallet full of money on a quiet village road. Inside were coins, important cards, and a family picture. He could keep the money and buy anything he wanted. But Tommy made a choice that surprised everyone. Because sometimes the biggest treasure is not money, it is honesty. Welcome, little friends.
This is so fun.
Today we have a beautiful story about a little boy whose honesty touched everyone's heart.
Everyone.
This is the story of Tommy, the honest little boy. Long ago, in a small and peaceful village, there lived a kind little boy named Tommy. Tommy was loved by everyone because he was polite, helpful, and always spoke the truth. His mother always taught him an important lesson. Tommy, always remember, honesty is more valuable than anything you can own. Tommy replied, "Yes, Mum, I promise I will always be honest." One sunny afternoon, Tommy was walking home from school. The birds were singing, the sun was shining, and everything was peaceful.
Whee! This is so fun! Race you to the bakery! I'm right behind you! What a lovely morning! Fresh bread, everyone!
Suddenly, something shiny caught his attention near a big tree. Tommy looked closer and said, "Oh, what is this?" He picked it up and found a beautiful wallet. Inside the wallet were some coins, important cards, and a small family picture. Tommy thought carefully and said, "Someone must have lost this wallet. I need to find the owner." While walking through the village, some children saw Tommy holding the wallet. One child said, "Tommy, you found money. You can buy toys with it." Another child said, "Nobody will know. Just keep it." Tommy looked at them and shook his head. "No, This money belongs to someone else. Keeping something that is not mine would not be honest. Tommy continued searching for the owner. He asked many people in the village, but nobody knew who the wallet belonged to. After some time, Tommy saw an old man looking worried. Tommy asked, "Sir, are you looking for something?" The old man replied, "Yes, my wallet is missing. It has a picture of my family inside. It is very special to me." Tommy smiled and said, "Is this your wallet?" The old man looked at it and became very happy. "Yes, this is my wallet. Thank you so much, my child. You have made me very happy." The old man wanted to reward Tommy. He said, "You are a very honest boy. Please accept this gift." Tommy politely replied, "Thank you, but I only did what was right." The old man smiled proudly. He knew Tommy's honesty was more valuable than any reward. When everyone in the village heard about Tommy, they praised him. His mother hugged him and said, "I am proud of you, Tommy. Always keep your honest heart." From that day, Tommy became an example for everyone. People learn that telling the truth and doing the right thing makes a person truly special. Remember, little friends, always be honest, because an honest heart is the greatest treasure. And the lesson we learn from Tommy is this: always be honest, because honesty is more valuable than money.
Every night, when children fall asleep, their toys come to life. They laugh. They play. They have fun together. But one toy was never chosen. And what happened next will break your heart. In a magical place called Toyland, something wonderful happens every night. When children fall asleep, their toys wake up. They laugh. They dance. They play together under the soft glow of moonlight. But hidden in a quiet, dusty corner, there was one toy who was never chosen. His name was Timo. A small, gentle teddy bear with soft brown fur and kind eyes. Every day, he waited patiently. Toys around him were picked, played with, and loved. But Timo was always left behind. Maybe tomorrow will be my turn. At midnight, magic filled the air. The toys came alive. Cars zoomed across the floor. Dolls twirled and laughed. Robots flashed and beeped with excitement. Timo watched quietly, hoping to join.
Can I play too? You're too old. You're not shiny like us.
You're not shiny like us. Timo's heart sank. Slowly, for the first time, he felt truly alone. That night, Timo made a decision. If no one comes to me, I will find someone who needs me. And with a brave little step, he left the shelf behind. The world outside was big and a little scary. Thunder roared. Shadows stretched across the floor. I'm scared, but I must be brave. I must keep going. And so, he walked forward. Suddenly, he heard a cry.
Help! I'm stuck! Don't worry. I'll help you.
With all his strength, he pushed and pushed and pushed until the car was free.
You are
Thank you.
a friend, and you are mine.
You're a true friend. A little further, he met a sad doll. I lost my button, she said softly. Timo looked down at his own button. It was the only thing he had left. But still, he smiled. You can have mine. And gently, he gave it away. At last, Timo found a small room. Inside sat a little girl, all alone. She looked sad. I wish I had a friend, she whispered. Timo stood still. Then slowly walked closer. The girl looked up. Her eyes widened. A teddy bear? She picked him up and hugged him tight. You're perfect. In that moment, everything changed. For the first time, Timo felt something warm, something special, something real. Love. From that night on, Timo was never alone again. He had found his home. And far away in Toyland, the other toys watched quietly. They finally understood. Being new or shiny doesn't matter. What matters is love. True value comes from kindness and love, not from how you look or how new you are.
Thanks for watching, everyone! We had a great time with you.
Don't forget to subscribe for more stories
Check out the next video here!
and explore our Moral Stories playlist.
See you next time!